much different does this feel going into these conference finals versus the last one? Like the high that you had, all the emotions of the Denver series, this one feels like just a little more under control.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think we kind of got a grasp of this one and kind of understanding, time and situation and how things are supposed to play out. And, obviously we got here and, quicker than we did last year. So that's obviously a plus, with taking care of your body and things of that nature. So I think, just kind of trying to take things and grasp it in the right direction and get a hold of it this time.
How do you just feel personally, just with your game and your comfort level going into this series, having done this before now?
Yeah, man, I think, like you said, I'm pretty poised in the situation. I kind of know what's expected. I've been here before, like you said, last year. Just kind of go out there and, just kind of compete at the highest level and, bring every aspect of the brand of basketball to, the game.
What have you learned about Julius as a defender, just what he brings on that side of the floor?
Yeah, he's phenomenal. I mean, I think in the last 3 or 5 years or something like that, he has the best numbers against Jokic. That's just by example. That's just goes to show what he brings to the table. I mean, Jokic is just a phenomenal player, MVP caliber player. So be able to do that on him, kind of speaks for what he brings to the table.
What's it like to be in the same room with Ant all the time? What's it like to be around him with that?
It's crazy. It's funny. You get to see, his personality. I mean, a lot of people get to see it on camera, but it's nothing like being there in person. It's definitely dope. Good experience, and you get to see him. I've been able to see him grow for the last 5 years, 6 years now. So, I mean, it's been great.
So you've been pretty close with Jaden. There's been a lot of talk about how good of a trash talker he is. Mm-hmm. Have you been able to experience that on your end at all?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've seen it all, good and bad, great, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's always funny to see, especially from a guy from the outside world who might not see him talk as much.
Now, what makes Finch different as a coach from others that you've had, whether it's good, bad, whatever? What separates him?
I think for him, he's smart. He's very smart. Knows the X's and O's. He's kind of straight to the point as well. He's not going to sugarcoat it. And I think in this league, in this business, you kind of need that. He's always gonna, build you up, and make sure you understand the situation. He's always gonna lead. I think, kind of at this level, you need someone who's gonna lead. And I think with him, it starts with him, and then obviously Aunt Julius and so forth and so on. But I think you always need someone like that around.
Now, how satisfying is it to be back at this point, knowing how much work you and Jaden put in over the summer, being back here with Ants too?
It goes just to show, how much work we do put in. Again, I'm so happy to be here, but now we gotta get it done this time. So I think everybody kind of knows what's at stake. You don't want to come to the same situation and then not succeed. Obviously, stuff happens, but when you got a goal in mind and a destination, a task, you kind of want to get there, and obviously you got to get through this first.
Now, what's the benefit of having gone through this last year?
You kind of get to know, what's at stake, what's going on. What to bring to the table, time and situation, and obviously, you kind of the jitters or whatever the case may be might not be there. It's not that you're not too worried, but it's also you kind of, like you said, you kind of just know what to bring to the table. I think last year we were kind of tired in this moment, and that goes to kudos to the team. Kind of again handling business in those last 2 series early and being able to be in this position.
That's the way that Target Center is set up. You have to walk right by the visiting locker room on the way out the door. Mm-hmm. What was it like with Dallas celebrating last year in your building and having to walk through that?
Yeah, it was crazy, man. I mean, it's kudos to them, but they earned it. But it was an experience. You want to make sure you get back to this point, and a guy like me, I would have loved to play them, that specific team again. But stuff doesn't happen like that, and you kind of got to, like I said, you got to kind of like. You got to put yourself on a schedule, and like this is where we need to be. This is where we need to be back to in this moment, and then kind of got to handle business this time.
Now, with a couple days off between rounds, have you been able to kind of like reflect back on just how much fan support you've got from Minneapolis? I mean, you had a towel at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I think I've just seen some more tattoos the other day and stuff. So it's crazy, man. It's just like I said, it goes to the work that I put in. Fans been with me since day one. I remember the first game I played, the Brooklyn Nets game, my rookie year, and they were rocking with me then. So You can only imagine in the NBA at this level, something that you dream of to have the support like that. So I mean, it's been phenomenal.
Do you think the officials and the players are starting to figure out how the games
I
are
hear
going to
you.
be called?
I hear you.
I said, do you think the players and the officials are starting to figure out how the game is going to be called? How much physicality is allowed?
Somewhat. I mean, I don't really know if we don't really. I mean, they call it however they call it. We kind of just try to put our heads down and be physical. Attack the rim at a high level. All that good stuff. So I don't really know if we're too keyed in on that. They might be. I don't know. But I mean, for me, I just kind of play the game.